Hello, my name is Vernisa, and this is our podcast, Speak Up. Jen will not be joining us tonight, but I will be holding it down with another amazing guest. For those that don't know, me and Jen are best friends, and we create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self love and respect. So, as y'all know, self love and respect is something that is super, super, super big for us. But before we get started with our episode, a quick shout out to our amazing sponsors. Shout out to My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester in Inglewood, California. Ladies, get your nails, your lashes, your hair done, your brows. Ask for mine. Tell them that Speak Up JV sent you. The Instagram is at nyy.bar. Also, tap in with our other sponsor, Be Actual Natural. Why settle for less? All their products are created with you in mind for a goal to let your self love show through your self care. The chemical free hair and skincare products are handmade, plant based, and free of fillers or preservatives. Treat yourself while being taken care of yourself. Start your journey at www.beactualnatural.com. The Instagram is at beactualnatural. So, y'all, I am so excited for tonight's episode. I actually got the honor to be on this lovely woman's podcast last week, and she in the building tonight. Y'all give it up for G9, host of R&B Vibes.
Hey, R&B only, TGN Vibes. I'm in the building.
Woo, what's up? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, feeling great.
Feeling good, feeling great.
And the scene.
You know I'm gonna have you in your feelings tonight, right?
You know, I'm literally always in my feelings. I'm a woman.
Hey, we in tune with our vulnerable side, ain't we?
Yeah, you know, they say we always vulnerable. Oh, don't take me there. You took me there?
I had to start it off. I had to.
Don't
look, you had me like that last week. Had me singing Jodeci.
I mean, Jodeci do put you in a mood, but Joe puts you in another mood.
And y'all, she has an R&B podcast. So yeah, for y'all like wondering what's going on, she was bumping all the bangers last week and had me on there doing things I never did on live.
Yes, I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, though. I love that we're able to meet and network.
Yes, and I think you're really dope. I have to tell you on air right now. I told you off air that you're really dope. I love what you talk about, you and your best friend. And I love that you were open to even speak to me and be, vulnerable with me either. We had some shares, some talks, so I love it. Thank you.
I'm on here for you, girl. You dope too. It was an honor meeting you. So I'm glad we're on here collabing. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your podcast.
So R&B Only was created. I went on a podcast pit. Let's start that.
Woo! Hey, that podcast pitch, y'all.
And something else. Now it caught me in the danger zone. I was so scared to do it in my first live show. Mm-hmm. But I went and I felt like I did a great job. So I said, you know what? I'd heard a lot about TGN, but I didn't know too much about it. So I just kind of researched, and when I talked to Keith, which is y'all supervisor / overseer / a lot of / director. Hey. I felt like I seen that they was opening up a vibe show. Mm-hmm. And I said, can I be a part of that? He was like, well, come in, let's have a meeting. And we talked about it. And that's how R&B Only came along.
Oh my goodness.
And I love R&B music, so it only felt right.
I want to tell y'all it's an amazing show and it's very relevant, with everything going on right now.
Yes.
R&B's in the talks right now.
Yes.
So I think it was just perfect to launch something like that. So congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yes, girl. We seeing more. Her show is actually right before ours. So
yes, 7 to 7. It's 7 to 8 o'clock, period. So yes. You got time to do that. Go get some popcorn, go get some wine, then come back over here. Period.
Straight up. So how long have you been in media and what got you into media?
I've been in media since 2019. I started my first show called G Vibes. No, actually I started a YouTube show in 2017 called He Said, She Said. It didn't work out. I was with my guy best friend. That didn't work out. So then a year later, I decided to do my own show. Was very nervous, very scared because I always felt like I needed somebody. And I wanted to take my boyfriend on. He was like, no, this is your dream. You do it. So he pushed me. And I was with Accelerated Radio and with Kevin Nash. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I got my show there. And the journey went on. I didn't know I just made it this far to even get on this radio station, mm-hmm. which is so dope. So, I just want to say I think God got me here to think about it. Because this wasn't my journey at first. Somebody said, you'll do good on radio. And I was like, I can't do it. They was like, "Yes, you can." They said they hooked me up with Kevin Nash, and I did it.
And
And
you
it's
learned, huh? Got
the
it down.
days it just keep getting stronger and stronger, and now doing red carpet, so I'm happy.
You got a radio voice too, and a personality too, so it just works.
You think I got a radio voice?
Girl, yes. And you got you know what I mean? You're very animated.
Oh,
like,
okay.
lively, like I'm gonna listen to what you're saying.
Okay, you know what?
Look,
I like that.
all of it matters, okay?
Oh, okay.
Keith knows every nod in his head. Keith knows talent when he sees it. So
I love that. Keith is really dope. So
yeah,
I think he'll tell you the real if you don't like it. So I love people like that.
You got to keep that in your circle too.
Period.
Taught me today. So, what made you choose an R&B show in particular? Like, what was like, ooh, R&B?
You know what R&B is missing? It's not dead, but it's missing. R&B sets the tone. R&B gets you in the mood. R&B music is important. And I want to say this. Remember back in the days when we had 106 in Park, when we had See the World, we had countdown shows. I feel like that's what introduced me to R&B and music alone. Mm-hmm. And I felt like with my R&B show, I want to bring that back, bring that vibe back, where we used to do the top 10 R&B singers of right now who you haven't seen. I think a lot of people haven't seen a lot of new artists, which I will tap into, and I want to like start that journey with people that haven't even dabbed into R&B. I want them to see my show and learn from it, gain from it, have fun, and that's what we on right now.
I'm here for. I learned some stuff, y'all. She had this trivia game going on. I was learning. I didn't know Destiny's Child was in this Jagged Edge video.
I mean, I bring out the works. I don't know because I'm a video girl.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even catch that either. I was like, okay, shoot. I thought I was gonna go in there knowing everything. She had me in a chokehold. So y'all better tap in, learn about some R&B, the real R&B, not this stuff today. You need the real,
not the auto tune. Period. The real one.
So I had to laugh.
You know what? Yeah, no, for real.
I need the real begging.
Okay.
My dad, he used to tell me this all the time. Like whenever I tell him a story about a boy, he go, "You got these dudes begging like Keith Sweat." He's always tell me that.
Okay, and if they begging like Keith Sweat, you got some, girl.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
If they going to Keith Sweat, yeah, you got some. Joe, Keith Sweat, Donnell Jones. If you ever got dedicated to R&B song, you somebody.
No, that's true. Look, you somebody. Please believe it. No, I love that. So what I was gonna say? Okay, so what's your favorite thing about being in the media?
I get a chance to be myself.
Hey.
A lot of people don't like. I'm myself all the time. Even at work, I'm myself, but I'm not. Sometimes you gotta put on professional. But media allows you to be you, and I trust me being me at all times. I feel like I got this far being me. My personality is really, really, out there. So I felt like it was only right for me to get into it. It's only right for me to dive right into it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I get a lot of compliments on my personality and my spirit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's why.
Nobody can take that from you either.
Nobody can take it from you.
It's crazy. People try to be like other people, copy other shows. Mm-hmm. It's like, in the day, this is the inside is what, man, that's what's going to make anything. I don't care what you do, anything. Like Keith's heart, Keith's drive. No one got that. That's Keith's.
Yes.
Like, that's why you can go.
I think a lot of times that's where people fail at. Is not being themselves. Mm-hmm. A lot of Issa Rae wouldn't have been Issa Rae if she wasn't the awkward black girl. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at myself. If I don't be my true self, if I don't introduce myself as who I am at all times, like people will miss me. You know what I'm saying? Like miss who I really am. I always want to be authentic.
Yeah, and being yourself is dope, right? Ain't it?
Yeah, who got time to be somebody else? Because God made you, and you are supposed to. I feel like we're on this earth to pay it forward, and if we're on this earth to pay it forward, what we do, how we move, how we is supposed to react to the next person. So when I have kids, I'm gonna always teach them to be their true selves because of that. Mm-hmm. My mom allowed me to be my true self. If y'all met my mom, she crazy, but she. Has always been her true self, and that's what got her as far as she if she don't have $20 right now, she'll have $20 in 5 minutes because she's always gonna be her true self
and get it.
And people love when they are attracted to people that's themselves at all times. So I could call any friend right now and talk to them, and they can be vulnerable with me. They can be you crazy. They can give me. I think even you could call me right now and say, "Girl, why did you do that?" And you will still get Janine.
Have a real talk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I think, yeah.
We're gonna get into that tonight and see.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
And what makes your show stand out from other shows that are similar?
R&B only stands out because it's mainly for the R&B fans.
I love it.
And I think that people don't understand what an R&B fan is.
Mhm.
An R&B fan, I'll just say what I define it as. An R&B fan is the person that's a lover for music, a lover from the heart, a lover from the soul, and R&B feeds your soul. So I would say the difference of anybody's show is that I'm going to not only feed your soul, I'm going to put you in the mood, and I'm going to give you my true feelings about what R&B is, not what everybody else says it is.
Yeah, because you have so many people like running with everyone else's opinion on something.
Yeah, and it's okay to post what people's opinions is, but say what your opinion is when you post it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say that ain't your true feeling. What is your true feeling?
And not just going with the crowd. And I think too, R&B is vulnerable, and some people don't want to. Some people be scared to show that they like a certain song because it's so in your feelings and this and that.
Every guest that I brought on my show, they always laugh at me saying who I like or what you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my favorite Toni Braxton. They're like, Toni Braxton. I'm like, you don't like Toni. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, you know, when I brought up the Jagged Edge and I showed y'all the Destiny, like, how do you know these things? I'm like so into music. So that's why I love it. And vulnerability is something that, like you said, R&B brings is vulnerability.
Oh, yeah, that's big. It's funny how that's what came to me when I was thinking of what to do for tonight's episode. So it worked out. And then who's your favorite R&B artist or group?
Okay.
You only get two. Go ahead.
Damn, only two?
Yeah.
Can it be ties?
Go ahead.
Okay. R&B artist, male or female?
It don't matter.
Mary J. Blige is my favorite R&B artist of all time. Toni Braxton's runner-up. Has to be.
Answer.
Okay,
but I said that in your comment too. That's crazy.
Yeah. See, and I think I said something back to it. Yep. That's a need. And favorite R&B group will definitely have to be SWV.
Oh wow, that was great. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I know your people wasn't gonna expect me to say Jodeci, but I'm gonna say SWV. Okay, for me, and I didn't know them words, but now I know.
Yeah, now we know. I was just talking to a friend about that yesterday, about that song. Like, wait a minute, did she say what we thought?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about R&B music?
My favorite thing about R&B music is you could get every different feeling from it. Okay. You could be sad. You could be happy. Yeah. It can make you angry. It can make you happy. It can make you get over a breakup, stay in tune with a breakup. It can give you every freaking feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it bad. Like, you know you got it bad for somebody, but you got to get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the Chris Brown songs, even that, like Mary J. Blige, take you back to old school feelings, right? You know, and she's always been my favorite. If you look at my life, you see what I see. Like, she's going through pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I experienced pain through her. And even though it's years later, when I got of age and heard those songs, it brought me back to the same feeling she had in 92 and 2000.
I was listening to No More Drama the other day, and I think she was on this. You know, you were a kid, you like, okay, this song. Yeah. I'm like, I feel you, auntie. No More Drama. I was sitting there singing it proud, like, yes. That's how you know you reach grown womanhood when you can feel Mary J. Blige completely.
And that's how you know someone is timeless. R&B is timeless because you can go back to so many R&B songs and hear them, and it not only remind me of a memory or anything, but it take you to a place that you never been, or take you to a place you want to be in.
I love it. That's big. And if y'all listening out there, feel free to hop in the chat and you ask G9 some questions. Like, we're gonna be here. So what keeps you motivated? What's your why? Like, you know what, I'm gonna keep pushing.
Goals. Every time I set one, I have to set another one. And so that keeps me motivated. Like, if I knock down one, I'm like, oh my God, I got another one. I got another one. I feel like I can't be, every goal has to be completed. And that's what keeps me motivated. It's completion. If I can't complete it, it drives me nuts. So I have to keep going until I complete each goal, each aspiration, each thing that, and people. people around me, you know what I'm saying? People that, oh, come to my show and talk. You guys keep me motivated because it keeps me thinking that I'm on the journey that God wants me to be on. Because if I didn't have the feeling, if you didn't think of me in any way, I wouldn't be here. So people keep me motivated.
I love that. You're not a quitter. That's big.
I'm not.
So, y'all, our ask up question of the day is: do you have a good relationship with your vulnerable side? A lot of people was tapping in on that, liking stuff, and I think it's a big discussion to have because we know our happy side. We have a good relationship with our happy side, and the part that shows love and stuff like that. But what about a vulnerability? You know what I mean? And it's not even just men.
No, it's
Women
not.
have a hard time with it as well. And my answer to that is I've been getting better. I've been healing that relationship actually.
Oh,
I used to have a problem with it because I felt like, oh, I'm showing too much. I'm a real sensitive person. I'm very emotional too. But I used to feel some way if I showed it to people or opened up. Like, why did I do that? You get mad at yourself later.
Okay.
And I learned that even if you don't get the reaction from from other people from being transparent about who you are, that's okay too. You know what I mean? You ever been vulnerable to people? It could be a family member or anybody, but they were not empathetic to it.
Yeah.
And you got mad at yourself though. Like, why am I? Why did I show that? And then I'm learning that in the day I'm being real with myself. So there's nothing to care about if someone else can't see me as deep as I can see myself. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So any thought? What was your answer to that question?
Oh, you took it there.
Oh yeah, we're talking today.
I'm gonna say this about that. I'm at all times I can be vulnerable, and that's a good and a bad thing for me. The good thing is that I'm open. The bad thing is that I'm open, and so when some people can use that and abuse that, and that's my biggest fear is someone using and abusing because I had it before. Being vulnerable, especially young, growing up being vulnerable, people will men especially would take advantage of that. Relationships with your parents, they can take that from you too. You know what I'm saying? So it's either you choose to be vulnerable or you don't, and you're gonna get the same thing. Either way,
that's big.
You're gonna get it.
But either you still gonna be feeling some type of way because you didn't face what it was.
But how you deal with feeling some type of way is you don't let it internalize you. You let that be free. Because if you don't let that be free, it's gonna hold you in a dark place. Eventually, it's gonna eat you up so much that you stay stressed out about your own feelings. Yeah. So how I let go is let it go. I pray about it, let that go. That's how I feel. It's over and it's gone. So yeah,
that's a good answer. Shout out to Gregory Johnson in the comments at Facts. And thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Feel free to ask us questions and engage in the conversation. So let's talk. I know your show because we like to make our show go with our guests, of course. So
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about how R&B music back in the day allowed artists to be vulnerable. So I think that's where like Diddy was saying how music is honest. The R&B music is honest and stuff like that. I think that's why today the music don't sound the same. It don't hit the same because it's a lot of let me act like I don't care. Let me be cold-hearted because I don't care if you got to make a whole song. If that you still feeling some way. You just try to hide it with F that I don't care. But when you go home at night, can you sit up at 3 a.m. and sit with that? I'm gonna be anytime I felt bitter towards someone because I still cared and I still felt some way, but I didn't acknowledge the real intense feelings that I really felt. So what are your thoughts on that? We going in. I'm sorry.
I see. You got me thinking.
Oh, he said this is Reg. That's my government. Okay, your government is on your team.
Government.
Okay, what's up, Reg?
Well, can you repeat it one more time? Because Greg got me confused. Say it again. What was that question? I'm sorry.
The question about how R&B back in the day allowed artists to be vulnerable, and then today it's more cold-hearted.
Yeah,
I feel like just because you acted cold-hearted don't mean you don't care.
Cold-hearted to me means more. It shows more vulnerability to me. Because it shows that if you can't be vulnerable, then when you can be vulnerable and you can't be vulnerable, it's still a problem. So it's like back in the day, it was okay for it to, if you was going through something, to put that out there.
Put it out.
Now it's like people are closed in because they feel like that shows a supposedly bad side of you, and that just shows another side of you. I feel like everybody can accumulate the same feelings. It's just how you deal with it, how you use them. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people just internalize it too much, and I think that as music grows, we see people internalizing things more, so it keeps them closed in
Closed off.
and closed off. Yeah.
And it sound more bitter too.
And sound more bitter. And so that's why I think the music back in the day felt better, because people were open more. And now we're closed in.
Closed in. I think that's where that coldness is coming from.
Yeah, coldness is coming from because people are afraid to be vulnerable, because people take advantage of that.
Yeah, they do.
And people use that against you. You know how many times somebody use my vulnerable against me? When you get mad at a friend, she say what you told them back. Like, how you I shared that, you gonna throw that back at me?
And this goes into our next topic, which is signs that you don't have a good relationship with your vulnerable side. And I think one of the signs that you don't is not knowing who to vent to, who to be vulnerable to. Because just we're saying be vulnerable, we're not saying do it with everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I've learned that, because I used to be the person like to spill out everything to people around me. And you're right, it does come back to haunt you later, because I was so comfortable in that vulnerability that I didn't realize who wasn't good to do that to. And a part of having a good relationship is knowing who to show that piece of you to. That's a sacred part of you too.
Yeah. I love that you said that, because it makes a lot of sense on what my journey now is, to not express myself so much out loud to people that don't deserve the energy that I'm expressing. You know, a lot of times people are holding on to a lot of their traumas. So just imagine people having traumas and you bring something that trigger them. And that's why a lot of times they turn it on you. It's because they are triggered by something. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many things that can refer to this, but I would say that you're right about that. Like I'm learning from you right now.
We just to speak up. We all here.
I can't express myself more, that I tell too many people what I'm feeling. And I have to learn
to balance of it.
Yeah, I have to learn to let that stop doing that.
And know when it's safe.
And know,
who, when.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think too, another sign that you don't have a good relationship with your vulnerable side is like, I just feel like when you can't express yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we all felt like that. We all like feel something, but it's like, how do I get it out? Or you don't feel comfortable enough with yourself to let it out. I think all of it comes with our self-relationship. I learned when I'm feeling vulnerable to nurture myself. I used to dismiss myself, but why are you feeling like that? Stop. That's mean. I'm talking to myself like that. Now I'm like acting like that parent or something, on nurturing their child, protecting when those feelings arise versus getting mad. There's a reason we're feeling that way, right? And hey, what's up? We know it's you. My bad.
Recess LR.
Sorry, I couldn't see the screen properly.
Whatever. Recess LR.
Nice to hear. Thank you for tapping in to speak up.
Check him in.
So
that's the homie.
What's the homie? What's up? He was on the show with us last week. I just want to throw that in. Groove into some Jodeci.
Okay.
So what R&B artist do you feel was good at showing vulnerability? Off the top of your head, like really good at
it. Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
I mean, from I'm Not Gonna Cry to You Are Everything. I can
fall out.
One thing that makes an R&B artist timeless is that they are vulnerable, you know, because a lot of artists can't be like that. You know, she can go into love making, she can make you feel good, she can make you feel sad, she can make you feel happy. She took you through her life and her music. And that's why her albums are timeless albums, because she can take you there. A lot of people can't take you there.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I love her so much, is because I've been through a lot in 36 years. You know, traumas from parents, situations to, you know, being molested. You know, feeling vulnerable at times that I felt like nobody didn't respect it. You know, I was in a 12-year abusive relationship and had to get out of that and learn from that. And, you know, speaking about it now, it makes me feel good that I'm here now. Like,
and got through it.
I got through it.
I can speak on this mic right now, girl.
I can speak on the mic and feel good about I came this far. I'm happy I even came here to even feel that.
Ain't that beautiful when you can look back at it?
Yeah, girl, you're gonna make me cry, so stop.
We vibing. This ain't
that made me cry.
We vibing. It's okay, let it out, girl. We
no, that was not supposed to make me cry.
I said this on my story the other day, y'all, but I went for a run. I'm gonna say it on here. I went for a run the other day with a group, and you know, I'm running, pacing myself, feeling good. And you know, I got to the point where I got tired, but this girl behind me said, "No, keep going, keep going." So I stopped. And then I started walking again, and then she yelled it again. And then she's like, "You never know how far you gonna get. Don't stop. You gonna be proud of yourself for not stopping." And then somehow I got this burst of energy and kept running. And I
Okay.
really felt in that moment that was God speaking to me through her, because that applies to life. Just keep going. It may
Yes.
seem hard, but keep going. You never know. Even through the vulnerability, go through that storm. Because when
Well,
you come out of that, you're gonna look back and you can share that love with other people and push other people like you're doing right now. You don't know who's listening right now,
yeah.
who's hearing your story. Like, dang, you know what I mean?
Because you got to sit back and be vulnerable with yourself too. You got to sit back
Yes,
and you
we're
got
gonna
to
get into
say,
that too.
you got to sit back and be like, damn, I really, but yeah, like Nipsey said, it's a marathon, it's not a
It's
sprint.
a marathon. We need to stop trying to rush it. And it's important too to make people feel comfortable around you too, to be vulnerable around you. We get mad when people
Yeah.
don't want to show their vulnerable side to us. But if are we making fun of them when they open up? Are we shooting them down? Are we not showing empathy? And I think that's something we have to check ourselves on, because we want people to listen to us. Are we going through some stuff? But how do we, when people come to us? Because I'm working on that too. Like, do I listen when people vent to me? I'm quick to be, oh, it's about me, but you know what I mean? I'm learning to check myself too and not just be about me and everything.
Yeah, I learned that from a man. My
And
boyfriend told me I need to listen more.
we're all learning, even
Yeah.
we're all learning. And also
Mhm.
too, I feel like vulnerability strengthens relationships, all relationship
Oh
types. Because if y'all could be vulnerable with each
yes.
other, I don't care who you are, it brings that openness, that transparency. But you guys, we're about to take a quick 3-minute break. Get you some water and get ready for our water segment. We'll be back with G9 with some more speak up. See y'all soon. 3 minutes. We'll be back with G9 with some more speak up. See y'all soon. 3 minutes.
Girl, what you doing on Tuesday?
Girl, I'm gonna be listening to Never Not Extra.
Oh, word. What time they come on?
Girl, they come on at 8:30, but only on Pacific Standard Time. So 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, how do I listen though?
Only on the Good News Radio app, girl.
The Good News Radio app. Okay, I'm about to download that right
Go
now.
ahead and download that shit, girl, and get in the comments, girl.
Oh, I'm gonna be up in there.
Because Kirsten be crazy.
And Moni be spilling that tea.
Ooh, all right. See you on Tuesday, girl.
What's up, friends? It's IE and Friends. We're here at the Podcast Pit LA. It was so fun. We came to rep the IE. I think we did a pretty good job. So shout out to the Podcast Pit for having us. Shout out to TGN. You guys should definitely check them out. You should check me out, Saul V. Gomez.
Y'all can find me at I Know Caesar on IG. You can find me at airbear_IE on IG.
And you guys can find the podcast at IE and Friends on every social media network, except for OnlyFans. That's coming soon. So stay tuned. So follow us and follow TGN Podcast Pit. Have a good day, guys.
Sundays just got sweeter. The Hub Radio presents First Sundays Open Mic, hosted by Hub City Dre, DJ Gamma Ray, and the First Sundays Band. They're inviting all singers, rappers, comedians, and poets to show up and show out. Sign-ups begin at 6 p.m. Sundays Open Mic will take place every first Sunday of the month. It's just $10 before 8 p.m. and $20 after, so arrive early. The address is 1135 East Compton Boulevard. That's 1135 East Compton Boulevard in Compton, California. For more information, follow them on IG at First Sundays Open Mic.
What's up? It's Brandon from the Primos Chilos radio show. Are you tired of filthy, lowbrow, scummy entertainment? Well, I don't have the solution for you. Check out the Primos Chilos radio show, live Thursdays at 12 on TGN Latinx.
It's back, Jax. Have you heard? It's back.
Michael, what are you talking about? What's back?
The Podcast Pit. It is returning Monday, May 23rd. Brand new venue.
Oh my God, the Podcast Pit is back. Exciting. Where's it at?
It's going to be at Joxer's Daily at 7:30 p.m.
I know where that's at. That's at 11168 Washington Boulevard in Culver City.
So, Jax, will I see you there?
Oh, you know it, baby.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vybez, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
Hey there, business owners. Don't miss our limited time offer. Advertise on the Good News Radio as low as $2 per commercial slot. That's right. Promote your business up to 4 times a day, every day for a month on live radio. If you're interested,
All right, y'all. We are back with G9, host of
Hey.
R&B Only. We are having a discussion about vulnerability, R&B music for y'all R&B fans out there. And we just on here vibing. So before we get started, a quick shout out to our other amazing sponsor. Shout out to AM Luxury Love Cosmetics. It is a luxury organic skincare line. They believe that knowledge is power, so they want to advocate an inclusive, healthy lifestyle. Shop now for some amazing products. The Instagram is at AM Luxury Love Cosmetics, and love is spelled LUV. Tap in, y'all, girl. They got my body feeling so soft right now. My skin, I got the shea butter on. So now it is time for our tweet up segment. So y'all know I love to be on Twitter. So something I tweeted this week that goes with our episode is being able to be vulnerable with yourself is a sign of a healthy relationship with yourself. I mean, it's simple as said, if you can't be real with yourself, what is that relationship with yourself? We try so hard to fit in with other people, please other people, have a good, healthy relationship with people. What about the person you are waking up with every day? You wake up in your own skin. Jen says it all the time. You just go to sleep with yourself. You do. This is who we with. Are you being real with that? Because I don't know about this. Has something ever hurt your feelings, but you lied to yourself about it?
Yeah.
And that's why later you had that crying moment. Like later it hit you. That's what happens when we numb stuff, I feel. So that's why I had to use that for the tweeter for tonight. And I want to say this. If you can't be vulnerable with yourself, it will make it harder for you to express yourself to others. So you don't even know what's going on the inside. How you gonna tell the people when something bothers you? And I think you mentioned you're real open about how you feel and stuff. That means you probably really you own how you feel.
Yeah.
And some people can't. It's hard for them to do that because they're not they can't sit with them and do it.
You know what? Today has shown me that I do.
And I think it's a good thing. I don't think you're really shame yourself for it.
I appreciate you for letting me be here to feel that.
Hey, you doing? You making me want to go out more and be more, myself.
You can.
Yeah.
What's holding you back?
I'm saying you making me do it even more.
Oh, do it even more. Okay.
Like what?
And I want to push everybody to go outside and do their thing.
We growing every day. Shout out to Reese. He said, "Real talk, great topics. Thank you for tapping in. We appreciate it."
Yes. What's up, Reese?
What's up? So I have a question. Have you ever struggled with being vulnerable with yourself? If so, how did you overcome it?
Yes, I struggle with sexuality. I was never comfortable with myself. It's so funny because I'm bigger now, and when I was smaller, I was more uncomfortable than I am now. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I struggle sexuality a lot. Is that a one that you would consider a vulnerable thing?
Yeah, and vulnerable is anything.
It can be anything. Yeah. So I struggled a lot with that because I didn't know my body. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't understand it, and I went through this whole phase of like how to appreciate your body, and appreciating your body can go in so many ways. Let me say that it can go by taking care of your body, like the skin care, the body lotioning your body and making sure your body, you feel good, drink water, take care of your body, run, do things like that. I struggle with sexuality a lot because I didn't know my body. So once I start getting in tune with my body and taking care of myself and eating great foods, bad foods, mixed them in a little bit, I was able to realize like a lot about my body, what's my strengths, what's my weaknesses, and don't use those to affect me in any way.
Wow.
I don't know why.
And I think you're able to be vulnerable with yourself about what you said, what's bothering you, what feels good with that. Wow.
What can you work on? Like me now, like me and my boyfriend, we working on gut. Like,
I'm gonna join y'all with that.
We like, okay, baby, we need to get our bodies together. So what is the first plan? Like, so now we doing 100, our own thing is like, okay, 100 squats every day before we go to bed. So when I get home, we doing 100 squats. This is our first challenge. We doing our own challenges. So we're testing things. We're doing things to make us happy about our bodies because we don't like our bodies, right? So we getting in tune with ourselves to be able to be in tune with other people.
Figure out what to improve on.
Yeah.
And that's healthy, doing that.
Man.
And let's talk about too the importance of forgiving yourself. I think that goes with vulnerability. We hold grudges on ourselves.
We do, and yeah,
from like past mistakes or at times we showed vulnerability, and it's like, damn, why did I do that? And when we have a grudge with ourselves, that's not good.
You know what?
Holding that pot, like you were saying earlier.
You holding it, and let me tell you something. A lot of times we hold grudges because a lot of times the grudges we don't be mad at the people, we mad at ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'll never forget. I held a grudge towards these two ex-friends of mine for 2 years. For what? Because we was mad at each other and they said some stuff that I didn't like, and I held it. I held it because I felt like some truth to it. It was truth to it. So I think that a lot of times with vulnerability, it be true. It's true. It's something that's so true to us that we internalize it. It crushes our soul, our spirit, and it makes us feel some way. But once you're able to embrace the bad things about you or embrace what people say about you and turn that into a positive thing about you, you'll be able to be all right.
Look, she on here gonna speak up, dropping gems real quick.
You'll be all right because anything somebody say, people say I talk a lot, but yeah, I talk a lot, but it's gonna pay me one day.
Content in it.
It's gonna pay me one day.
Me and Jim make jokes because we both have deeper voices as women, and we be like, we both get
me too.
made fun of for our voice.
Me too.
And I'm like, oh, but y'all listening to it now on the radio on the stage, ain't y'all? Look,
okay, right.
They gonna be where it's, So I want to say too about. Speaking of self-awareness and what we were talking about, I feel like classic R&B writers had a sense of self-awareness.
Ooh, yes.
I think that's what allowed them to write some magic. Like, I like to write poetry, but I'm gonna be real. My best poems come from when I'm being vulnerable, when I'm actually acknowledging how the fuck I really feel. Because I try to write little stuff, whatever, but that's why I don't come. But when I'm like really feeling some way, and I sit there, something comes to me, and it comes out like in 5 minutes, like a whole poem.
Oh,
but that's because that sense of really tapping into how I truly feel versus trying to make a poem just sound good. Fuck making it sound good. How you really feeling? And I feel like when these writers, fuck making it sound good. What's the feeling? How can I paint this with these words?
That's what makes R&B great too. Because when the writer gets deep
off.
Yes. Look at Confessions by Usher.
I was about to mention him in the earlier. Look, that whole.
I mean, he said it was whoever the writer was. Now it's supposedly JD, but
whoever wrote it, whoever.
Okay, because writing is a sense of what is it? It gives you freeness. Is freeness a word? It can cause a lot of vulnerability, but it allows you to let go of things. Like when people write, they let go of it. So if you create a song in that, if you create a poem in that, and you let it go after you wrote it, it gives you some free type of spirit, sense of awareness.
Yeah. You're transmuting. You're taking that energy instead of doing something else. You're putting it out there. Channeling.
Yeah, definitely that.
Please write, y'all. Shout out to Active LA. He said, "Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Welcome to Speak Up JB.
Happy
Tapping
Thursday.
in. Favorite day of the week."
High
so
key.
Let's get into our life up segment. So this is when me and Jen take the topic and we relate it to today's world. So it's our vulnerability. So our life up for tonight is how vulnerability is seen as a weakness. I have to challenge that. Vulnerability is a strength. It takes strength to dig deep in yourself, and acknowledge how you feel and stand on that. I think it's a weakness when you want to hold back and not show it. And our society today, he can his feelings, he's showing it.
True. You know what? I like a man that's vulnerable though.
I love that. I love a man tapped in with his feminine side a little bit. When it's balanced.
You know what? And you got to think about with R&B. Remember when Marvin Gaye and them back in the day, dudes, a lot of candle.
It was getting
turn off the lights, a lot of candle. Yeah,
too, all that.
Now we getting bitch lay down. Let me suck you.
Yeah. I left after and I just slopped. What?
Yeah, like slop on my not. Like we getting that more than we getting what we should get.
I choked her out. Like, okay, what is going on here?
I mean, some of us like to get choked.
I mean, no, but David said it like I just throw her in there. No, I didn't get you choking. I'm just saying that.
I'm not saying I like to get choked. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Some people, yeah.
My boyfriend is definitely watching. I didn't say nothing, babe. Nothing. I didn't tell him nothing. There's a meeting in my bedroom.
In my bedroom. You gotta hit that note.
Girl.
I can hit that note with my deep voice.
Don't let us go to Silk and start doing a little dance.
Yeah, I'll do the whole thing. And then also too, how today's mainstream R&B promotes having no feelings.
Yeah.
What is the R&B in that? If I'm like, I'm not gonna get nothing from that. There's no feelings, so I ain't gonna feel nothing listening to it.
Oh yeah.
I have to throw that in there.
I think R&B is one of those things that even when you're vulnerable, people gonna hate it. So if you hate it or love it, it's either way. To be honest,
that's true. And then I'm gonna say this one: the lack of people wanting to tap in with their vulnerable side within themselves. So we
Mhm.
don't see that. I think that's why. Okay, you talked about this on your other show. She has another show, by the way, y'all.
G
So let's
vibes,
talk
y'all.
about this. So I think too. What do you think about this? I had to write this down. How dating has took a negative turn since people don't want to be vulnerable and honest about how they feel.
Oh,
I think that's where this hookup culture is getting worse now. Like people just kind of like just jumping. Like nobody, because as soon as it gets weary, they feel so they pull away.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that, real quick?
And this is what I said on my show, G Vibes. I have another podcast, y'all check it out. A lot of people these days don't tap into their vulnerable side because they are afraid to be hurt. Because with hurt comes pain, with pain comes broken and some more things. And people don't want to be broken no more. They want to keep bouncing around to different people until somebody completely makes them happy and they don't go through nothing.
They don't want to work on themselves in it. That's why they're looking for that complete happiness.
Ain't no relationship perfect.
Nope.
And you're not perfect.
Mhm.
So you're going to have ups and downs around. But it's up to you to decide what is too much and what is something to keep you there to work on. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the arguments don't even be about what the person is doing. A lot of times the arguments have something to do with you. Because a lot of people like to project what you do or what you on you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm honest. Let me tell y'all this. I like to project how I'm feeling sometimes on my boyfriend. Like I'm feeling angry, and he's like, "Okay, so what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Because you." And he like, "It ain't because of me. What's wrong?" And then I have to break down and talk to him about what's really bothering me. So if you're able to communicate with your partner, you can get the vulnerable person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times communication is a sense of vulnerability, and people don't like to communicate no more. That's why relationships is lasting and we having more baby daddies.
And I think that's why it goes with what we were saying earlier. Just so my mind is coming back. Oh, about making the person comfortable to be vulnerable. Because if we just shut people out when they about to, how's it gonna grow, that vulnerability side, if it's not being watered? So
Ooh.
I have to say that on there.
Put the water in the plant.
We drop bars on here. Active LA said I almost spit my water out. I agree. Hey, I'm glad we giving you a laugh over there, like some entertainment.
Oh man, he probably talking about when we was talking about love making.
I don't know where that. I don't even talk like that on here.
Sorry about that. I did that.
I have a question. What's a newish R&B song? Whatever. From not the classic R&B, but into today's world, whatever R&B song that you would say promotes not being vulnerable.
Not being vulnerable.
You could think of one off the top. I was trying to think of this. I know there's a lot.
Not being vulnerable?
Yeah.
R&B song?
Yeah, that's just more like I'm cold.
Okay. I'm going to just say Division. You know what Division is? If I don't start cheating, that don't mean I don't love you.
Oh no. Look, we good. That's what's going on. That's on the radio today. That's like an old woman. That's on the radio today.
I think that a lot of songs like that shows that men do not tap into women as much as they. You know how a woman always say, "Oh, he want to be he in his women feelings," and it's just
like,
their
why
feelings.
Are we knocking them for being in that.
You can't knock nobody for feeling the way they feel. For one,
it's valid.
It's so valid. And we tend to have men tendencies just as much as men have women tendencies. I don't care what nobody say. We tap in with each other. We just got to figure out what is more that we want to express about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people grow up. A lot of men just grow up with women.
Yeah, and they tapped into their feminine
and they
side.
tapped into their feminine
Which ain't
side,
a bad thing.
Which is not a bad thing. But then when they get around the guys, they have to flip that around because they don't want nobody to think that they're sensitive. And honestly, a lot of men that grew up around women respect women a little bit more unless the woman has showed them the disrespect part. But I don't know. I like Mama's Boys.
And I want to say this. Shout out to Tioni. We had her as a guest. She does Waves Beats. And we talked about the balance of feminine and masculine energy. And it's about balance because men have feminine energy too, just like us women, we have masculine energy. But it's about the balance of when to use it. Like women, we should use it to protect our masculine, to protect us. We're going after our goals, like that drive. You know what I mean? But men, their femininity is supposed to be when they're expressing themselves, but then, masculine other way. So it's about that balance and knowing when to use it. But I feel like there's a big imbalance today with everybody. So it's a lot of shit. So how do we fix this? We always end it with how do we fix this? Look, get into your feelings, get vulnerable with yourself, be real with yourself, and you're able to express yourself to other people. And turn off this new stuff. Turn every now and then, it's gonna play it. Every now and then turn on some Tony. Turn on some Maxwell every now and then.
Woo! Don't get me started.
You can tap in with
yes.
it, I think. And I want to say this too. You can't get over something without allowing yourself to be vulnerable about it first. So that's
She
why,
said
y'all, we have a lot of stuff we holding on to because we ain't facing it. So if we ain't
Mm.
being vulnerable about it, it's always gonna be sitting there like a little. So it get worse because it's festering.
Right. The most important thing is to tap in with yourself. When you're able to tap in with yourself, you can learn how whatever you project out is how people will treat you. So when you tap in with yourself, when you treat you how you're supposed to be treated, people will treat you how you're supposed to be treated. But if you treat yourself like shit, people will treat you like shit.
Because you're gonna allow it.
You're gonna allow it. Yeah, it's like an environment. You know how people say you get around 10 different business people, you're gonna be a business person. More than likely you will, because you tapped around something that you are in tune with. You tapped around with something that you're just like empowerment events. People get mad about empowerment events. They always say, "Oh, why I go to the empowerment event is to be in like-minded places with like-minded people that motivate you, that you see is doing exactly what you want to do, so you can do something, even whatever version of you want to be."
That's
so tap in with yourself, like she said.
And y'all, if y'all are like, well, how do I do it? One way it's been helping me. I do 5 minutes of silence a day. So late at night when I'm getting for bed, close my eyes for 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes. You know, it could be more if possible. And I just silence, I just breathe. And I release whatever I'm holding on to from the day. So if something happened, I'll just breathe that out. And I'll breathe in something opposite, like positive. And just do it for 5 minutes and you feel so good. That's the way to tap in with yourself to figure out what the F is really bothering you.
You know what? I do two things. I watch something that, okay, I can't go to sleep with turning on bad things. So I watch something really, really uppity, good to my. I like cartoons. Okay, sorry,
That's
y'all.
good.
I love cartoons. I'm a cartoon girl. I would love to watch like a show that makes me feel good. So when I go to sleep, I could go to sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're not asleep because we're holding on to whatever happened that day or what's been holding us for a whole week. Another thing is turn on some Maxwell.
Yeah, you know what? You should have known these things. You should know these things. Okay, that take me to another planet.
Okay, turn
on
his
music up loud though. You have to like feel the instruments and everything in the background.
It's the energy for me.
Right.
He gives out good energy. Since I'm an R&B girl, turn on some good R&B music like Maxwell, like the Donnell Jones.
I could hit the
shit.
Yes.
Like the Isley Brothers.
I had to play that.
And tune out. I bet you'll get in tune with yourself.
And vibe.
And feel good.
So that's good. But hold on. Okay, it feel good. But y'all know what time it is?
What is it?
It is time for our drink up water segment. So if you listening out there, please grab some water and drink some water. I'm gonna drink mine. Usually Jen would say our water fact for tonight, but I'm gonna say it. So our drink up water fact for tonight. So we're talking about vulnerability today. So we're gonna do a water fact about your heart. Staying well hydrated helps your heart do its job and more easily pump blood through the blood vessels to your muscles. This in turn helps your muscles work effectively. If you are dehydrated, the amount of blood circulating through your body decreases. So you want to get vulnerable with yourself. Start with drinking some water so you can think clear and that heart can pump. Okay. And you can be vulnerable and you can heal and get through it. And that was our water fact for tonight. Miss you, Bestie, if you're out there listening. Because she be doing them water facts. She be like, you better drink your water. She be
you better
she be
do
pressing
it
on here when she said that water fact.
She not playing.
So I try to imitate it the best I can.
When she come back, she'll tell you.
She gonna have the water. Yeah. And Jen, she got a big old thing of water. She walk in with the thing this big.
Oh, she take care of her body.
Yeah, we hydrated over here.
Okay, check y'all in.
We hydrated. So what's your favorite vulnerable R&B song?
Ooh. Okay. It's a sexy song.
It's okay. Go ahead.
And it's by Tony.
I'm here for it. What is it?
Me and You.
Ooh, that song takes me away too.
I don't know what it. Okay, so it's not my wedding song, but I feel like when me and my boyfriend play that, I always like grab his hand and like we have to dance or something. Like you have to be in that our own moment. Like I always put that on in the house, and I grab his hand and I'm like, let's dance. And he'd be like, all right. But it gets him in the moment. So that's my song. I love that song. Me and You by Tony. Yes.
You gotta bring that up. Recess said that was deep. And then Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, he said the Flames. Hey, welcome to Speak Up JV, tapping in.
Hey.
So what is something that has helped you be more accepting of your vulnerable side?
What is accepting?
Yeah, what's something that just helped you be, accept that about you more.
Accept shit.
We asked hard. We getting everybody with these questions.
Yeah, like accepting myself.
Yeah, what's something that just helped you?
Oh,
something you practice, something you've done.
Oh, something I've done, something I practice.
Helps you.
You know what? Meditation.
Hey,
I do a lot of that, but I don't do the meditation that everybody else do. I do in the car meditation. I do it in the shower meditation.
Real in the car.
It's real in the car, but in the shower for me, I feel like I'm washing away things. In the sense. I like to get in the shower and think. That's my biggest thing. That's where I think the most. That's where I think of ideas. That's where I think of everything. But when I meditate in the car, like before I do a woo-saw-woo before I go on work, when I come out.
Release right before
you go in. Oh, because they crazy. But before you go in and before you go out, when you walk out the door, when you walk in the door, that's how, yeah.
And I love it. I like to turn the song up right when I get to start dancing, right?
Yes. Hey,
So,
do that.
It is time for our quote up segment. So, yeah, as y'all know, my bestie is a quotie and she loves quotes. So, our quote for tonight is to share your weakness is to make yourself vulnerable. To make yourself vulnerable is to show your strength by Chrissy Jamie. Like I said, vulnerability doesn't make you weak. That is strength, showing it. Let's be real. The people who have the deepest stories, like we were talking about when we were on mute earlier, that's what makes it powerful. The fact that vulnerability, or the fact you can admit what you went through in the past and be open, like, yeah, this happened. This made me feel this way. And look, I'm still here standing. I think that's strength right there.
Yes.
That's why like when you see people who do have accomplishments, but they don't really have a story, it's like, oh, like someone gave them money. They didn't have a hard life. It's cool. Like, oh, it's great that happened. When you hear those people with that story, that vulnerability, that's where that power comes from. The instant to be inspired, right?
Yes.
So we love to ask people a fun little question, every time. So our fun question for you tonight is, what's an R&B CD that you remember owning? Owning, like you went and bought it when it came out. I would say Chris Brown first album for me.
Oh, owning. Oh, because my mama had bought it.
I remember going to buy, like a little, just some.
Brandy. Brandy, her very first album, Brandy.
I love it.
Just a sunny day, hey, without you.
Aquarius too. Aquarius gang on here, hey.
Oh, I had one of those men.
Oh yeah, the minute. Yeah, I don't do the minute. Look, we go so much. We both stop talking to each other. Both of the Aquarius, we just stop both instantly.
It's over.
It's not good with
it. Ain't gonna work.
Aquarius together. Aquarius ain't it?
Yeah.
So I feel that.
I dealt with that before. No.
So it is time for our wrap up segment. So how does this relate to self-love? Self-love is being able to be vulnerable with yourself, loving all parts of you, the happy, the vulnerable, all that, and nurturing it and just pouring into yourself. You need yourself the most actually when you're vulnerable. So that's self-love right there. So I have a question for you. How do you practice self-love? Quick answer if you can.
Self-love. I practice it by telling myself I'm good, I'm great, I'm gonna be good, I'm straight, and to keep pushing.
Okay, and this is a question we love to ask all of our guests. Quick answer. What do you want to be remembered for?
Strength.
Ooh. I'm gonna let that marinate. Strength. That's a good one. And girl, you doing it.
I appreciate it, y'all.
Strength. And I want to say this, y'all. Don't underestimate the strength that you have. You never know how strong you are until you get past some stuff. So if you feeling weak, right? You feeling like, push yourself just a little farther. You never know when that light's coming to the end of the tunnel. And don't be afraid of that vulnerable side. And today, that's beauty. It shows you're living, you're alive, you can feel. Okay.
I love that.
And remember, your vulnerable side is beautiful. I think tears are beautiful, actually. I learned to see that differently. Like with people's face, it's like, oh, you're letting it out. And don't be afraid of how you truly feel. And our wrap up comment for tonight is, love all parts of you, even your vulnerable side. Okay, so just because you feeling vulnerable, sad, or angry, that don't mean stop loving yourself any less.
Yes.
Self-love and inner peace is accepting that life has ups and downs, and you're gonna go through every emotion with the life. It's like a roller coaster, right?
Yes.
It's like when you're on a roller coaster, it's happy, oh, a drop coming, and your stomach drops. It's gonna constantly change, and that's how we have to accept what like what. I had a little angry moment today. It was hot today. I was a little
hot girl.
little emails coming in, but you know what? you
made
go
it
with the
through.
motion. And you let I've heard that saying, acknowledge your emotions and let them pass. That's a saying I've heard before. Hey.
Oh.
But we appreciate y'all tapping in live on our 73rd episode of the Good News Radio titled Vulnerable Vibes with G9. But G9, before we go, can you go ahead and shout your information out? Where can people find you and your show?
Okay, find me at TGN, the Good News Radio, the TGN Vibes, Select Vibes, TGN Vibes, R&B only with your girl G9. And make sure you follow me, and make sure you go follow me at G Vibes Podcast as well. I have a second podcast. We talk about a little bit of everything there, not just R&B music, but everything. So yes, tap in that G Vibes _ G Vibes and R&B _ R&B only.
Yeah, y'all don't want to miss that show. Is so good. I had so much fun on there. By the way.
Yes, thank you for coming.
I appreciate you coming over to the show.
Yes, and you got to come to my other show.
Yeah, I got to come. Yeah, look, and then I'm gonna bring Jim with me too.
Yes.
But this was so nice. And y'all, before we go, quick shout out to our amazing sponsor. Shout out to My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester. Get your nails, your lashes, your hair done. Ask for mine. Tell them Speak Up JV sent you. The Instagram is at nyy.bar. Also, shout out to Be Actual Natural. The Instagram is at Be Actual Natural, and also AM Luxury Love Cosmetics. Instagram is at AM Luxury Love Cosmetics, and love is spelled LUV. We'll be back next week at Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Tell your friends to join and download the Good News Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Speak Up JV. Follow me on Instagram at Vernisa. That's V as in Victor, ERNISA. We're also on Twitter at Speak Up JV, and we do pre-recorded episodes on YouTube as well. So love you guys. Thank you again, G9. Make sure y'all tap in with our show. We will be back. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to close out with some Aaliyah for y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.